everybody, Johnny here at Good Life Fitness Village Mall. So today I'm going to go over video number 4, which is actually machine number 4 in our Fit Fix section of machines, okay? So today we're going to be going over a seated row, okay? So this is a seated row and it has a supported torso, so it kind of prevents us from swinging back and forth, which you should kind of try to prevent yourself from swinging back and forth with the weight. You should try to stay stationary as much as you possibly can. So the muscles that we're going to be working in this one are all the muscles in our back. We're going to be working our mid-lower traps, our posterior deltoids, which is the back of our shoulders, our rhomboids. We're also going to feel a little tiny bit in our arms for sure. In our shoulders are definitely the secondary muscles that are going to be worked. So the main things we want to think about this one is also setting ourselves up in the machine. So a lot of times what people will do, they'll try to get their feet on these pads right down here. Now if the weight is not necessarily very heavy, you're not going to have to worry about keeping yourself firm in here. If you need to get your feet in there, that's fine. But even if you just put your feet down right next to it, where you got the supported torso, that should anchor you in, okay? So when we're looking at our seat setting, things that we want to look at is we want to have this pad fit almost in the mid-sternum. So we want the pad on our stomach coming up to about right here, mid-chest, okay? So that's always just going to be this adjustment, up or down. So the second thing we want to think about is what are the important points of this machine, and also what are the benefits of it. So a lot of times in our daily life, what happens is just the way we sit, just the way we move, it always tends us to drag our shoulders forward. So when we're looking at posture, our daily life essentially drags us in, where really our posture should be opened up like this. So that's what we're going to do on this machine. There are 3 different handle grips. We're going to pick an underhanded grip where we're able to keep our shoulders open. If we do take an overhanded grip, it's just going to be really tough to differentiate between keeping your upper traps out of the movement, just because they tend to be firing at all times, keeping up the weight of our head. So it's really easy to get all the weight to go up into our upper traps. So we're going to try our best to keep it out of there for right now. So that's going to relay over to our chest press, but we're going to talk about that on another day. But that's just why we're going to take an underhanded grip today. If you look at where my hands are coming back when I'm doing an underhanded grip, and I bring my elbows here, it's actually opening up my chest and squeezing all the muscles that are responsible for keeping our shoulders back. So essentially, when we're looking at this machine, those are exactly the things that we want to be focusing on. Only letting our arms come back to where we're by our side. If we come back any further, you'll notice that my shoulder wants to round forward, and then the weight gets taken into our upper traps, okay? So I'm going to give a couple reps. If there's any more important points, I'll go through them as we're going through it, okay? So we're just going to pick a weight where we're just going to get an understanding of how to keep our posture, not allowing our upper traps to take over, because they love it and they will take over. So we really want to have a weight that we can focus. What am I squeezing? What am I squeezing? So our lift tempo is lift for 2, pause for 1, and lower for 4. But with this particular machine, I always say pause it an extra second. Get an understanding of, okay, what am I squeezing in my back? Pick a light enough weight that you can say, okay, I'm squeezing here, I'm squeezing here. And if you have to do any type of manipulation, the weight is not going to be such that it's going to be hard to make that manipulation, or it's going to jeopardize it in order to manipulate your body to get it in the right position, okay? So I'm going to come up, I'm going to take a seat in the machine. I'm just going to make sure that I'm nice and straight. I find if I move the handle in too far, I'm leaning into the machine, and then it gets a little bit tougher to keep it away from my upper traps. So I just want to be able to reach the bars with my fingertips. So I'm going to float the bar. I'm going to make sure that I'm in good posture. Slight tuck down to my chin, chest up, always keeping my stomach tight. So just breathe in before you lift. Breath in, brace, lift, breathe out, okay? So we're going to bring it in where we're trying to bring the bar. It's a short range of motion, right by our side, not allowing our shoulders to round forward to take our upper traps. We want to make sure that we're keeping our upper traps fairly relaxed. We want to squeeze, keeping our arms tucked. Then we're going to let it down. 2, 3, 4. We're going to roll it back. 1, 2, pause. We're going to squeeze the muscle, get an understanding, and then we're going to let it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to try to get into our 12 to 15 rep range, so we really get an understanding of what we're squeezing. And be advised that make sure that you're squeezing that muscle, allowing blood to get there. The real famous thing people will say is they'll paint a room the very next day. They'll say, I'm sore in spots I didn't know I had. Well, of course, you're not used to standing doing this all the time. So when we're dealing with our back, sometimes it's tricky to get back awareness. You almost need to be sore in those spots that you didn't know you had in order to know that you have them. So I find by getting that extra squeeze, it allows you to get blood in there and allows you to get an understanding, okay, that's the muscles that I'm supposed to be squeezing, then let the weight down, okay? So always just take your time with this one and get used to it. If you'd like to learn more about the different handle variations, you can come in to see me at the club. You can call me at 747-2500. You can email me at john.wheeler@goodlifefitness.com, or you can comment below, okay? Thanks very much.